Give me your second sons, and I may not have you gelded.
Hey YouTubers, how awesome is it that Game of Thrones did an episode whose title ended up becoming a dick joke? I dedicate this video to anyone that didn't get an invite to that Tyrion Sansa wedding. I feel like most weddings are a form of comedy though, and it's no spoiler to say that comedy usually precedes something awful. That's really appropriate because you can think of that opening scene with Arya and the Hound of a metaphor for all the characters on the show. Arya has one chance to make it right, and if she doesn't, something awful is going to happen. It's almost like George R. R. Martin and the producers are saying, we're going to give these characters one more chance, and if they up, things are going to get really bad. But hey, it wouldn't be Game of Thrones if awful things didn't happen to the characters you love, am I right? That's not to say that if Tyrion hadn't gone on to deflower Sansa, he'd be safe. He's still going to end up in the Black Cells somehow. I don't want to tell you why, because I don't think it's going to happen till season 4. I mean, really, of all the characters on the show this week, it feels like Samwell was the only one to take his chance and succeed. How cool was that disintegrating White Walker? I feel like even though the books are so much better, some moments are just meant for video. Popsicle fireworks for everyone. I don't know about you, but I also really hope that she doesn't name that baby Randall. Speaking of second-class citizens, let's talk about Dany in the East. I feel like she just left Astapor on this really high note, and now that she's in Yunkai, she's back to being a She basically gets treated like a servant when she runs into the Second Sons and the Titan's Bastard. Oh wait, I see what you did there. As an audience, I feel like we really just have to be patient with the Dany character. The writers abuse her, she breathes dragon fire. They abuse her, dragon fire, rinse and repeat. Speaking of dragons, anyone who thought that Melisandre needed Gendry's blood to do something awful, high five yourselves again. You're awesome. In the books, they do talk about stone dragons at Dragonstone, and she does mention them in passing, but by the end of book 3, they still haven't been able to summon any. They're not really explicit about what she's using that blood and the leeches for, other than it's just a dark spell to bring some misfortune on the kings of Westeros. Like I said earlier, you get one chance, then things go to awful. You can think of Melisandre's scenes in this episode as the tipping point to awful. So clearly the rest of the series, the next 2 episodes, are just going to be a further descent into chaos for the rest of these characters. Depending on how you feel about chaos on Game of Thrones, this could be awesome or this could be bad for you. Personally, I think that Game of Thrones is much better when it's tossing its characters around. No one is safe, anything could happen to anyone at any time. There's actually a really big death coming on the show. Let me know in the comments if you think it's going to happen in the next episode, Reigns of Castamere, that's in 2 weeks, or in the season finale. Don't say who it is for people who haven't read the books or haven't looked at the wiki. We don't want to spoil it too much. Just let me know if you think it's in episode 9 or episode 10. Like I said, we've got 1 week off from Game of Thrones. There'll be 2 weeks before the new episode. That I like to think of as Arrested Development weekend. So be sure to watch that. I'll be doing a video for that I'll post on Monday where I would normally post my Game of Thrones video. It's going to be hilarious. Please watch it. My next Summer of Awesome video will post on Friday. That'll be a preview for Brad Bird's new movie, Tomorrowland. He's actually doing that with Damon Lindelof, who just got done doing the Star Trek Into Darkness movie. I'm mostly excited for it just because it's a Brad Bird movie and I love him as a director. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully you will too. I might also include some spoilers for another big movie in that as well. In the meantime, you can click here to catch up on all my Game of Thrones videos from this season, and you can click here to get my spoilers for the Doctor Who 50th anniversary episode. Thanks for watching. See you on Friday. Bye!